Hey, I'm Olivia.
I'm Regan.
And you're listening to Soarin Around WDW. Okay, so this week's news, there's not a lot of news this week. We're going to touch on just a couple of things and updates before we get into today's topic. The biggest thing that I saw that I thought was interesting was that they destroyed the outdoor seating for Woody's Lunchbox. And they did literally took it all out.
Yeah.
And so I don't know if they're just making it more covered or indoor seating, but I mean, there was dirt. So what do you think they're doing there?
I don't know. I mean, I saw that it was going down because people were mad, or there was some PSA that if you could still eat at Woody's Lunchbox, but you would have to sit.
There's nowhere to sit
in the weird path between Toy Story Land and Galaxy's Edge.
Yeah.
And so, but I didn't know what they were doing. I figured that they were probably just making more seating because that place is really popular.
It is.
So I'm assuming it's just to increase capacity. I doubt there'll be fully covered seating. It's probably just going to be umbrellas.
Well, I guess people also complained that it was hot. There wasn't a lot of seating. And so I don't know. And then all of a sudden they started this construction. So people speculated that maybe they were doing something
covered.
like that. Or at least partially more covered than it was.
Like a canopy or something?
Yeah, maybe. But then
I don't know.
Why is the dirt showing? That's a lot. That's intense
true.
Construction. So
I think they probably leveled out some areas. I mean, I haven't seen the pictures, but leveled out some areas next to it so that they could increase
capacity.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was the biggest piece of news. And then the other piece of news that I saw was that Guardians will play the song September all day on September 21st, which I think is super fun. That's a song I have not gotten yet on Guardians, and I really want to get it. So as soon as I heard this, I was like, dang.
Better make a trip.
Wish I could book a trip.
I thought that was a thing in the past, just the whole month of September. I thought they only played September. But
No,
I guess that was just a rumor.
Yeah, people wanted them to, and then people were like, okay, if you're not going to do the whole month, at least do the 21st night of September. And they didn't do that last year. Apparently they've never done that. And so this was another the people have spoken.
There was definitely times. I mean, I went September last year. I'm pretty sure I got September, so that's probably why it fed the rumor to my brain. But anyway, I mean, interesting, cool, good fun little thing to do, I guess, because they stopped doing the Christmas stuff, so they aren't really doing anything special with that ride currently, music wise. So
yeah, so that will be pretty cool. And then the other pieces of news that we just want to touch on were some of the runs from this week. So Travel Hacker TM on Twitter got to 48 with their first run, which is really impressive.
Really good.
We were definitely impressed by that. We've been watching everybody's runs, and it's just interesting how, one little thing can change everything for people. So definitely congratulations to them. And then do you want to talk about Vicky Mouse and kind of what she was doing?
Yeah, so Vicky, I mean, I think she's also the one that did Spaceship Earth all day recently, or maybe not. I don't know. Someone else did Spaceship Earth, from open to close. They just literally stayed on Spaceship Earth.
Yeah, that's
all
crazy.
Day. Maybe got a snack in between or food at some point, but Vicky went into a day at Magic Kingdom in hopes to ride the teacups 100 times and raise money for charity while doing it. Give Kids the World.
Yep.
And she not only did 100 times, but 200 times.
200 times.
In one day on the teacups. There are pieces of the Every Ride Day that are miserable.
Yeah.
I wonder at what point I'd be like, okay, all right.
Yeah.
This was a cool idea, but I'm done. So kudos to her. I mean, she stuck it out. She
raised $1,500.
There was no difference between her demeanor in the first spin to the last spin. She was just as happy. So good for her. Crazy day. I mean, I'm sure the cast members were cheering her on and stuff throughout. I heard that she had some pretty good cast member experiences. So congrats to Vicky. That's a really cool thing to do. A really creative way to
raise money.
Utilize Give Kids the World and not doing the Every Ride thing. So well done. Claps, claps, claps. All right, so what are we talking about?
So today we are talking about, which has been actually a pretty frequently asked question in general, but also to us on Instagram. And I think it's popular because it's recently come about again, but we touched on it a little bit last week. It's the Disney dining debate. Is the Disney plan worth it? The dining plan. And there's
okay. You just said like so many words, but not in the right order.
The Disney dining debate. Is the Disney dining plan worth it?
Is the title.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyways, kind of. Yeah. So we're going to talk about the Disney dining plan, the history of it, and then today's 2 different plans and whether or not we think they are worth it. I think when I hear Disney dining plan and people ask me, my immediate reaction is don't do it. It's a waste of money. But then wanted to calculate it out to get an official answer. So we'll kind of go through the calculations and what we think. But you said you've never had the dining plan before, right?
No, I think I've used the meal plan at Universal before.
Okay.
Like years ago, like over a decade ago.
Yeah.
So it's probably very different now.
Yeah, and I've used the unlimited dining plan at Busch Gardens most recent trip, and that was miserable experience. Definitely don't recommend. But I have used the Disney one before, pre-COVID, I think twice, and I remember having a good experience. I also was not the one paying for it, so it didn't make a difference to me.
Yeah.
I just remembered the snack credits, trying to use all of them so we didn't lose them at the end of the trip, because those can tend to be forgotten. So a little bit about the Disney dining plan. So it was first introduced in 2005, and at the time there's only one plan offered. People could add it to their Disney hotel reservations to prepay for meals and snacks. So you could only do it if you were doing, the hotel
so you couldn't
package.
Just buy it.
Correct. You could not just buy it, which is the same now, I believe. You can't just buy it. You have to have hotel ticket package. And then in the years between 2005 and 2020, there were a lot of different dining plans that came in and out. Different things were rearranged, but the most important thing is, like we said, they were only an add-on for Disney vacation packages. So you had to stay on a Disney-owned and operated hotel and have to at least have purchased one ticket per person, which I don't know how that works with annual passes. But that was something that I learned when I was looking into this. And this is credit to Disney Food Blog, by the way. That helped me learn a little bit more. So desserts were then removed from the quick service plans, depending on which plan you had. And then in 2015, they added things like premium and platinum Disney dining plans. But right before the suspension of the Disney dining plan during COVID, there were 4 options: the quick service plan, the standard plan, the Disney Dining Plan Plus, and the Disney Deluxe Dining Plan. So just lots of different levels. I know. So I'm kind of glad that now they simplified it and it's just the 2. But
what are the differences between those 4?
It was like how many credits you had in certain restaurants were only included in certain tiers and different things. So like Ohana or like Topolino's was probably more than, like Liberty Tree, even though they were both sit down because they were character. There's different things. So they get Disney. They get into the nitty gritty even now, which is crazy. But it also included snacks and also a resort refillable mug for each person that got the dining plan. So you'd get a mug, and at the resort back then.
That's still a thing now.
That's still a thing. Yeah. But you get a mug, and that can only be filled up at the resorts. And I think a lot of people that aren't familiar with Disney that go in booking this and see the dining plan think, oh, well, okay, I'll take this mug, fill it up at my resort, go to Magic Kingdom, and have them fill it up for free. No.
Yeah, that's what I would have thought.
You cannot. It's only at the resorts that you can fill it up for free. So they're just swindling you.
Yeah.
So that's a huge
that's still
key
a thing
player.
Now?
Yeah.
Okay, what if I go to Connections Eatery that has a refill station?
I mean, I guess.
Is that technically theft?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because they expect you to buy it there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. Yeah. Well, no, I mean, I guess it could come with your meal there. So I guess you could fill it there. So like as part of your meal credit, you can get a drink.
No, I'm saying like I just walk in.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, technically theft.
Okay.
Is my understanding. Correct me if I'm wrong. But that's what I was reading from a couple of different sources and sites. So now Disney has set up 2 different versions of the dining plan for obviously different budgets and whether or not do you want to do sit downs in your dining plan or do you only care about quick service? And then they're an additional optional add-on to your trip. And you can use your magic band, the key to your room, to just deduct points. So you can just kind of tap your magic band. You don't have to worry about cards. So a lot of people like this because they pay for it ahead of time or pay for it into like their trip budget, and then they don't have to think about it.
Yeah.
With the caveat that there are still some things you'd have to think about. But I mean, it definitely takes the stress off of when you're right there worried about spending the money. You don't really have to look at the price because you know what's included already. So we'll kind of get into why that might be a good thing, why that might be a bad thing. But then same for credits. So that for snacks. So for snack credits, same thing. You can go tap your Magic Band at wherever, and not every single snack is included in the dining plan. Most of the snacks you'd think of, like a Mickey bar, a bucket of popcorn, or like with a standard bucket, not the fancy bucket, are included. And there's a little symbol on the menus that says like Disney dining plan of what counts and what doesn't count. Yeah, so it's like if you have your heart set on this.
I'm thinking about like the cheeseburger spring rolls in Magic Kingdom. Like, would those count? Those are like very famous snacks, but like because they're so niche, do they fit under the?
And like a lot of the Epcot Food and Wine Festival snacks, some of them count, some of them don't count. So it gets a little like, and then alcohol, like that also is not included. There's like a lot of like, you got to think about it depending on your eating habits and like budget, what you're going to do. But it's definitely not you pay for this, you don't ever have to pay for anything while you're in the parks. Like a cruise, like where you pay, you get on the boat, you're eating basically for free unless you do the really fine dining. So
they could charge an arm and a leg for that for me.
For what?
To be able to walk in the park and just walk up to anything and just be like, I'll have that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
even if it didn't include sit-down restaurants, but just to be able to like walk up, like, because I don't know, you get hungry at random times, but then you're like, okay, I only want to eat twice today because it's so expensive.
Yeah.
But if I can just walk up and be like I don't know, I'm thinking about like the ice cream and the plate, like everything. Like there's so many options.
So it's interesting you say that because that's kind of how when we went to Busch Gardens recently on Labor Day weekend, that's how theirs worked. Is it was like you paid whatever price. It was way too much money for their crappy food, but you pay whatever price, and then every 90 minutes you could go get a meal, a snack, a drink. So you don't have to get all those three things then, but you could. So you walk in the park, get something, but not everything was included. But it's like, okay, if it's been 90 minutes, you're like, I want a Coke. It's free, so you go get a Coke. Or like, I want Coke and ice cream, so you go get that.
See, Universals used to be way more abusable because they didn't have a way of tracking it. It was just a wristband you had, and so we would pass the wristband between us.
Yeah. Now it's like ticket. Like the tickets, they asked for our ID at a couple places where like didn't care.
They obviously learned.
Yeah. But that is, there's definitely ways to work the system in that scenario. But Disney's is linked to your ticket. You scan the ticket, it takes the credit off, so you really can't abuse it. Really.
Is there a way to view on the app like how many credits you have left and stuff, or is that just something you have to keep track of?
Is a great question. No, I'm sure there is a way to track so you can see, because there was a way when we did it back before the app was as popular that we were like, oh, we have 4 snack credits left, we need to go get 4 snacks or whatever. So there definitely has to be a way to see. It's been a long time since I've used it, but yeah. So Disney also sometimes, this is the only way that I think it would be beneficial, they'll announce special resort packages where it's like free dining plan for your stay, or like free dining plan for 2 of your nights, and then you pay the other 2 nights or whatever. So it's like different promotions that could make.
They do that?
Mm-hmm. Sometimes. Oh, okay. Yeah. Certain times of the year when, it's really, they're trying to get people into the hotels or to book on their hotels. Yeah. I wonder if that will happen anymore. I don't know that that's happened since the dining plan came back. But that was something interesting. Probably not. They probably won't bring it back because they like to gouge you for every money they can. Mm-hmm. But so like an example of some of the snacks were like 1 frozen ice cream novelty, like a Mickey bar, a cup of soup, container of popcorn, single serving bag of snacks. And then also what could be considered a snack is like a 20-ounce bottle of Coke. If you're like you said, like you have your meal and then later you just want a drink or something. And then
I think at least drinks, I don't know.
Drinks should just be free.
At least fountain drinks should be infinite.
That's how I feel too.
Like they don't even pay for their drinks.
Yeah.
Like Disney.
Like pennies.
Disney doesn't. Coke.
Sponsors?
Uses because Coke is like the official drink of Disney, all of Disney's soda is free.
Oh, interesting.
Like they don't pay for it. They just get Coke gets the advertising, so they don't. Yeah.
Wow. I didn't know that.
So every time they charge me $5 for a soda, I'm like, you didn't even pay for this.
Yeah. Like you're just banking all that money.
Yeah. At least I'm pretty sure that's the case. It's been a while since I've researched that, but I remember seeing that and being like, wow, it makes a lot of sense. And like that tracks with my understanding of other businesses as well, like certain credits that you get for just being a Coke or Pepsi. Like that's sponsored. All you serve.
Yeah. So for table service credits, each restaurant that accepts the Disney dining plan, which is most of them, takes 1 table service credit per person. However, there are still some restaurants that take 2 table service credits. That includes Topolino's Terrace for dinner, not for breakfast when the characters are, which I thought was interesting. Storybook Dining.
Where's Topolino's?
Topolino's is at Riviera.
Okay.
Storybook Dining at Artist Point, which is at the Wilderness Lodge. That's a character breakfast with Snow White. That costs 2 credits. Yachtsman's Steakhouse at the Yacht and Beach Club. Cinderella's Royal Table costs 2 credits, obviously. Yeah. It's crazy expensive. Be Our Guest at Magic Kingdom, which surprised me because there's not really characters anymore. And
there's for me, there's no good food options.
Yeah, I did not love the food options there when we went there a long time ago. And then the Royal Banquet Hall in Epcot by Norway, where the princesses are, that takes 2. Hollywood Derby Fantasmic Package takes 2. The Steakhouse in Canada takes 2. Spice Road Table in Morocco and the Hoop-de-Doo Review. Or if you get private in-room dining at the Grand Floridian, which is room service, and that's the only resort you can get.
Private in-room dining?
It's basically room service, but that's the only Disney hotel that offers
does room service?
Room service like that. It's fancy.
No, I think most Disney hotels don't offer any room service.
Yeah, I guess Swan and Dolphin is the only one I'm thinking of, but that's not technically.
They do?
Disney. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Good to know.
So that is what costs extra credits. So you have to be mindful when you're looking at this, pricing it out. Talk to your family, look at the things, or if you have a trip planner, travel agent. That's definitely things you want to consider when you're looking at this. But so we can jump right to what it costs.
Yeah, I was gonna say how much
So how I calculated this, I was starting to do the math myself, and then I found that Dis Trip Planner has a calculator online that you can put in the dates you're going, the number of days, number of people in your party, because that's how they calculate what it costs for your
Isn't it different per day?
Dining plan. Yeah. So
you said the dates that you're going as part of that?
Yeah, your dates you're going, number of people, adults, children, and then which restaurants, specifically, and just an average, obviously. And then it also talks about how much the refillable resort mugs cost, because you can buy those on your own. Tips, all these things that I don't know you would necessarily think of when you're buying this. So what I came up with was
that's a good
tips are not included. So then you still have to tip if you do any sit down restaurants in the sit down plan. So it's another cost. So it's they get you where they can get you.
How do they if you're not paying, how do you know how much? Do they bring you a receipt anyway?
I think
you can still calculate?
Yeah, I think so. I think they bring you a receipt so that you know how much to tip. But I basically calculated our last episode's family trip and what it would cost based off of what I would suggest for them. So I said, let's say day 1 they arrive and go to Disney Springs at Polite Pig, which would be 2 adults, an 11-year-old and a 7-year-old, about $84. And then day 2, Hollywood Studios, what I would recommend there. So I'm also going to kind of talk about my favorite restaurants at each place. But so going back to Disney Springs, I really like Polite Pig. I don't know if you've eaten there.
I've not.
It's a pretty good barbecue place. I didn't think it was crazy expensive. They do Visa discount and annual pass holder discount. So that's nice. And then they do use the dining credits if you're a quick service dining credit if you have the Disney dining plan. So I definitely recommend that as my favorite that I've been to, Disney Springs quick service.
Are we getting into that already?
I'm going to talk. Yeah, let's just talk about it. I'll do.
Well, but hang on. Finish how much the stuff costs.
Oh, you want to just go through that first?
Yeah. Oh. Just tell me, because what did you average? What did you pick for an average vacation?
Well, I picked their vacation. So I picked the family that we did last time, their December vacation.
Okay, well, how much does it cost per day on average for each of the 2 things?
Well, so we're just going to get right to the end because that's a lot of numbers that I don't think people want to listen to the whole thing. But the calculator showed that using no dining plan for everything that I'm going to talk about each place, you would spend $1,453.58. This is for the sit down, one quick service credit per day, per person. And that includes refillable mugs for your party, 1 snack per day, taxes and tips. So that's with no dining plan. So $1,453.
And that's not including a sit-down restaurant.
Yes, including sit-down restaurants.
Okay.
Including sit-down restaurants. Then if you got the
$1,400 per day?
No, $1,453 for their trip.
For 4 days.
Technically 5.
Technically, you get a 5th day. Okay.
And that includes, one snack a day. I tried to, do all the options.
So a little bit less than $300 a day.
Yep.
Okay.
And then it would cost, with the dining plan, the dining plan itself costs $1,562.65 for those same dates, the same restaurants. They averaged it out, obviously. Plus, you have to tip, so you have to spend another $136, making that total basically $1,700. So you would be saving about $250, and you would be able to manipulate the menus more. So we could share a meal. You could have a kid's meal instead, and that's cheaper. You don't have to do the resort refillable mugs. You don't have to get a snack every single day for every single person. So there's a lot of ways that you could save money by not doing the dining plan. So I was like, okay, this is so obvious. Why would anyone do the dining plan, right? And then somebody else asked me for quick service. Somebody in our question box this week said, I'm planning a trip in November. I'm trying to figure out, should I do quick service or not? So I quickly calculated what it would be for same trip for the party that we just did.
4 days, 4 parks.
4 days, 4 parks.
You get a 5th day, technically.
But you get a 5th day, technically.
But what counts as quick service? I mean, so this would be like Disney Springs quick service then for that 5th day? Because you're not inside the park?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, or at the hotel. Like if you go to like the cabana, the pool, like that kind of stuff. So basically said just for quick service, and this was, let me remind myself. Basically, it's the similar thing. It's still more expensive for using a dining plan, what you pay up front, including getting a snack every single day for every single person versus not. And it is like a $200 difference. So it's just interesting. Again, it could be the restaurants I chose, the average of the price of things. But
did you choose like pretty generic restaurants?
Yeah, okay. Like Polite Pig or like ABC Commissary Cosmic Rays. Yeah, exactly. Okay. So just something to consider. So now kind of getting into which restaurants I chose to calculate this, so you guys can know, okay, these are good restaurants or whatever. They're sit down. I did a couple character meals to kind of throw that in there. But we can kind of talk about each day and my favorites, Regan's favorites for each place of what we'd recommend. This is just the top number one choices because I think we'd have to do an episode, which we will eventually, about each park and all of their dining options and kind of what we think yay or nay on them. But basically for Disney Springs, my top quick service and then top sit down. So top quick service is Polite Pig. Top sit down for Disney Springs is actually Morimoto Asia. We went there for Steph's bachelorette party and it was delicious. I know there's a lot of really good popular sit down places at Disney Springs. We just haven't been to a lot of them. T-Rex is cool if you have kids. There's a lot of places I want to try, like Homecoming and stuff that people have said are good. But those are my top 2. What are your top 2 Disney Springs?
So quick service, I put Blaze Pizza.
Okay.
I
like Blaze.
I couldn't really think of a lot of quick service options. I haven't eaten a lot at Disney Springs.
So you had deluxe?
No.
I haven't either. I wonder.
And then sit down, I put Rainforest Cafe.
Yeah, that's another popular one. /
Morimoto Asia, because I know my wife likes it, but I haven't had it.
Okay.
Well, my wife really, really liked it. And then, didn't we want to do like a want to try?
Yeah. Do you want to do that now?
I mean, yeah. We might as well while we're talking about the place.
Okay.
A place that like I've always wanted to try at Disney Springs is the Boathouse.
Okay.
Just because it's like super fancy and it's like a cool aesthetic.
Yeah.
And it has like a good variety of food from what I remember from seeing the menu. So
yeah.
But it's really expensive.
My want to try is Homecoming. Similarly expensive, but
Where's
like
that?
Southern food. I'd have to pull up the map to like show you exactly, but that's a place that a lot of people talk about. It's like, I think a chef, it's like a well-known chef that created this restaurant. It's really good like Southern food. So like fried chicken, mashed potatoes, that kind of thing, but like good quality. So that's been on my list to try there.
Okay.
And then Hollywood Studios, what I chose for the comparison was lunch at ABC Commissary. That's definitely a place that we've come to really like. I'm also always fine with just like a burger or pizza, but if you like a little bit nicer food, a little bit healthier food, they have a lot of options there.
They don't. Not anymore. I can't even eat there anymore.
Well, so what? But they have like rice bowls and stuff.
They don't have like burgers and stuff.
Yeah, no, they don't have burgers and stuff. Yeah, so that's what I picked as like a different than just a burger.
They used to just have like burgers and chicken tenders.
Yeah, no, now it's like healthier.
Yeah.
So that's what I would recommend at Hollywood Studios. Unless you just like burgers, you could go literally any Backlot Express, like basically anywhere else in the park. Is that what you picked? I knew you were gonna pick that. So ABC Commissary is what Olivia would recommend, and then Mama Melrose for sit down. I also love sci-fi, but the food, in my opinion, is not that great. The experience is cool.
Yeah.
But Mama Melrose, I love Mama Melrose. So that would be my pick. What are your picks?
So quick service, I did do Backlot Express. There's two reasons for this. So one, it has food that I eat. Like, it has like
burgers.
Food for an 8-year-old. But then also it has refillable drinks.
Okay, yes. Those are perks.
Like, listen, when we talk about all the restaurants, make a note of the ones that have refillable drink stations.
Yeah.
Like, it's worth targeting those because drinks are so expensive, so you can get a free refill as you walk out.
And if you're like me and have a huge water cup, like I have a 64-ounce cup, or I don't know, it's 40 ounces, I think. I'm being a little dramatic. You can refill it with ice and water there. Like,
with ice and water, not just getting cups of water and trying to like dump them in.
Fill them in, and not the water fountain water, which is like lukewarm and kind of gross sometimes. Yeah. Okay, and then what was your sit down?
Mama Melrose.
Okay.
I put an honorable mention for a quick service though at Woody's Lunchbox.
Okay. Yes.
The grilled cheese slaps.
Okay, so I actually have never had anything from Woody's Lunchbox except the Pop-Tart things. They're like Pop-Tarts.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
But yeah, you should try the grilled cheese.
Okay,
It's really,
I love grilled
it's just
cheese.
grilled cheese, but it's good.
Really good.
And then I put an honorable mention for, or like a want to try, I guess, for sit down is the Andy's Roundup Barbecue.
Yes, I want to try that too.
Steph, I wasn't that interested in it, and then Steph and I were just talking about it the other day, and she mentioned that it's all you can eat.
Yeah, it's family style, similar to like Liberty Tree.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I will try that.
Yes. So we'll be trying.
So I will try that.
Yeah, I do wish that. I wish that the characters came out and came to the table and stuff there. But I know. Yeah.
I'm an adult.
Yeah. So, okay. That's Hollywood Studios. That's what we would recommend. And that was included in the cost of the dining plan stuff that I said in the beginning. All of these were. Animal Kingdom. I included Tusker House Restaurant for breakfast, which is a character meal buffet.
Where's that at?
That is, again, I'd have to pull up a map. But it is...
What's it by?
Africa, I believe.
Okay.
I believe. Don't quote me. I'm going to look this up while we're talking. But they have unlimited buffet characters, and they're dressed in cute little safari outfits.
It's called Tusker House?
Tusker House, yeah. Would recommend that for breakfast. And then I haven't eaten like anywhere at Animal Kingdom except Pizza Safari. So I don't necessarily recommend that as the best food there. But a place that I've really wanted to try that I included in this.
It is, in fact, by
Africa.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought.
It's right by the Safari.
Safari. Okay, that's what I thought. But
it's very hidden.
Yeah. Well, they used to have Mickey and Minnie at an unlimited breakfast thing by Dinosaur in like Dino Land, if I'm remembering right. We went as kids. I don't think it was Tusker House.
Unlimited breakfast.
Yeah, I know.
I don't remember the last time I ate breakfast inside the park.
Ooh, Crystal Palace. Did you go there recently? Anyways.
No.
Okay, so Tusker House was where I picked as the sit-down character meal. And then as the quick service there, what I did for the math was Flame Tree Barbecue because everybody says it's so good. Have you had that there?
Nope.
Okay.
That's like a standing, isn't it? Like you walk up like to a stall?
Yeah, there's not a lot of...
Woody's Lunchbox is that as well, so that's not really fair. But like, I wouldn't count that, I guess,
as a quick service.
A quick service restaurant.
Well, the other quick service that they also have a sit down that I want to try at Animal Kingdom, which is my honorable mention, want to try, is Yak and Yeti.
Yeah,
I really want to try that.
Yeah, so we've had that before.
You ate it?
Yeah, didn't we? Yeah, we had yak, but we like sat at the bar one time and they let us like a long time ago.
Like you did the sit down side.
What kind of food do they have?
It's like Asian. Yeah.
Yeah, fried rice. Yeah. Okay.
Everybody said it's so good.
Yeah, so that was what I put for the sit down. I think that's the only place I've had for sit down in Animal Kingdom, like besides when we were kids.
Yeah.
And so I really like Yak and Yeti. My quick service was a Satuli Canteen.
Okay.
Which is the Pandora quick service restaurant.
I've never been there.
It's so good.
What do they serve?
It's so cool. Like lots of stuff. I got like burger sliders when I was there.
Okay, like unique things, not just
yeah. I mean, they're like semi-themed to Avatar, but like it's pretty normal. It's not like Star Wars Land where it's like, what even is this?
Okay. Yeah.
It's like pretty normal food that's themed to Avatar and has free refills, and it's a really cool atmosphere.
Free
it's like probably top quick service restaurants in Disney.
Okay.
Just because it's like really, it's like really like not. It's like feels like it's hidden.
Yeah.
In that like you didn't even probably know that it was there. It's like right as soon as you get out of Flight of Passage.
I mean, I've been to Flight of Passage minimal times, and Challenge was one of them. The other was COVID. I don't even know that the restaurants were open like that then.
So, and then the honorable mention, which I put as well, I mean, it's exactly this. It's literally probably the same restaurant as Backlot Express. It's called Restaurantosaurus.
Yeah.
And right next to the dinosaur.
They have refillable drinks.
They have
also,
refillable
I've
drinks
been
also.
there.
So that's why I put that. And then Pizza Safari.
Yeah, Pizza Safari.
I mean, it's pretty solid.
It's fine. That's where I like used to recommend to everyone, and then everybody's like, "There's so much better food. You need to try these other places." So, got some places to try. Animal Kingdom. Matt,
I want to try for Animal Kingdom.
What do you want to try?
I didn't have anything written down because I like can't think of where restaurants are there. So I guess the Tusker House.
Yeah, Tusker House, unlimited breakfast. Let's do it, buffet. Okay, so Magic Kingdom.
Challenge day and then throw up.
Yeah. Magic Kingdom recommended. I just had to go with our classic.
What an odd order we're going in here.
Cosmic Rays. Well, I did it in the order of the days I recommended them for the parks, like what to do.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Magic Kingdom, Cosmic Rays. I had to. We eat there almost every time. They have a lot more options now than they used to. Again, used to just be burgers, pretty much, and now they have a lot of different things. They have a bowl there that Maddie really likes. So there's like a teriyaki, I think salmon or shrimp or something bowl that he really likes. And it's entertaining. It's very cheesy. The little,
but
alien.
It's good vibes.
Yeah.
Like, you can't go wrong with Cosmic Rays.
So that's what I picked for the quick service that day. And then sit down, I picked Liberty Tree Tavern, which it is not a character meal anymore. Back in the day, it used to be. We'll have to share some pictures on the Instagram this week for our TBT at Disney on Thursday. But I love Liberty Tree. If you like Thanksgiving meal, it is Thanksgiving meal on crack. It used to be so much better. I think the last time I went, it wasn't as good, but...
Mine wasn't, but there was a reason why.
Because you were served in a different restaurant.
Yeah.
But now they don't do that anymore, right?
I don't believe so.
Yeah. So that was like COVID times.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, but I do love their mashed potatoes and gravy are, oh my gosh, 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
And it's unlimited. So really like don't eat anything and do that for lunch and then do something else for dinner for quick service if you need to. But
you don't even need to.
It is so much food.
Eating that at like 3 p.m. is like perfect.
Yeah. Well, you'd probably be pretty hungry by 3 p.m. if you didn't eat anything else. But eat something at the hotel for breakfast. But definitely recommend Liberty Tree Tavern. And then what do you recommend for Magic Kingdom?
I put quick service. I put Cosmic Rays, but Pinocchio's Village House is also really good.
Yeah, you said that last time we were there for Halloween. I've never eaten there since it's changed. It used to just be pizza.
No, it was pizza, and then it was pizza and pasta for a while, and now they've gotten rid of the pasta, I think. And we just ate there when we were there this last trip, and they had like a meatball sub that was really good.
Okay.
So Pinocchio's Village House is right next to Small World.
Where do you want to try at Magic? Oh wait, what's your sit down?
Sit down. I put Liberty Tree as well. Honorable mention. Be our guest, but not for
the food.
I don't know. It used to be open for breakfast. And the breakfast was so good because you could get like a cinnamon roll, and it wasn't super expensive.
Like the Gaston cinnamon roll.
Kind of, I think, and then but you could
be in the environment
and see the restaurant and not pay $1 million and get food that you would eat.
Yeah.
So Be Our Guest, and then Crystal Palace and Tony's are all on my like.
Yeah.
You should probably.
Oh, definitely. Those. Yeah. Crystal Palace is my honorable mention. I've tried it, so I can't say like haven't been there, but Crystal Palace for breakfast, 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
Recommend.
I don't have a want to try.
Yeah, and
Magic Kingdom.
We've been to almost everywhere.
I think I've eaten at every restaurant except never mind. Cinderella's Royal Table.
Oh, okay.
I'll put that on want to try. My wife really wants to do that. It's just very, very expensive.
Food is also not.
Yeah, it's the experience. I dragged her to Sci-Fi Dine-In and it wasn't too bad. So
yeah, true. It's definitely the experience.
Yeah.
And then I did day 6. I picked Topolino's Terrace as the character meal for breakfast, but this is not unlimited food, and it is not a buffet.
What about Epcot?
Oh, I'm so sorry. Excuse me, Epcot. I can't believe I forgot you. Your friends are going to kill me. Epcot. So day 5, Epcot. Lunch, have to go with Mexico outside, not inside restaurant. The outside, get a margarita with sugar on the rim. That's all you need all day. You could just have that.
The nachos are good, though.
But, oh my gosh, there are nachos, the tacos. Like, love the food at the outside area of Mexico. And the drinks are amazing. If you have one, you're going to be in trouble. So maybe end in Mexico if you're trying to drink around the world. Because I was, like, toasted last time after one margarita. It is banging. So that's what I recommend for Epcot. Epcot has some great food, so I had a hard time choosing. But I do recommend Garden Grill. As the sit-down meal. It's a character meal. Mickey and Minnie dressed well, actually Minnie's not there. Oh my gosh, don't let me misspeak. Mickey, Chip and Dale, Pluto, and they come dressed out as little farmers, and it is so cute and goofy. And the food is so good, similar to Liberty Tree. They have a little bit of a different menu, but it's all very fresh and it's unlimited. So I highly recommend. We went there in February after not having been there since like 2015, and it was just as good as I remembered. And Maddie, my husband, was like, let's go back next time. Like, it was so good. So they also have below Garden Grill, this is my honorable mention, they have in the area kind of near Soarin where you can get just like mashed potatoes, green beans, turkey as like a plated quick service meal. And that was actually really good. I had that in April when I went with my friend. So I recommend that food in the whole Soarin Plaza Garden Grill if you're going to do a sit down, or the downstairs area for food. So love it. And a Mexico margarita.
Gotcha. Okay, so for Epcot, I put Connections Eatery.
Okay. Because unlimited drinks.
For a restaurant, or for a park that is like all about food, I think I've eaten at the least places.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Animal Kingdom is probably a close second, but we always eat at Connections Eatery. It has generic food.
It's okay.
And it has free refills, so I love that. Hey! Hush. Sorry. And the honorable mention I put was the Katsura Grill in Japan.
Yeah.
Which is the quick service Japan restaurant.
Okay,
that's like
I haven't
hidden.
done that.
So it's like hidden off to the left side of Japan, like up by like this waterfall.
Uh-huh.
And it's basically like a sushi fast food restaurant or a quick service restaurant. I don't eat it, but my wife loves it.
Okay.
So like, and it's very like affordable, and it's decent sushi. So I put that for the quick service honorable mention, and then sit down. I don't think I've eaten at a single sit down restaurant at Epcot.
Well, when we were kids, you did.
Besides when I was a kid. Like since I've been a kid. So all of these are want to tries. So the Space 220 restaurant, I think that's what the numbers are, which is the newish restaurant that it looks like you're in space while you're eating, and the windows are all screens that look like you're in space. Woo, cool. To Pan Edo in Japan, which is the hibachi restaurant in Japan. I always wanted to try that, but it's like way more expensive than normal hibachi, which is already like really expensive.
Yeah.
And then the Italian restaurant Tutto Italia in Italy, which I've never tried either, but I've heard good things about it.
Same.
And so I'm sure there's a lot more restaurants in there that would be pretty okay, but I'm really picky, so I just don't.
Yeah, I've eaten at the hibachi place, and it's good, it's cool, but it's like you can eat hibachi a lot of places. I don't think it's that unique. There wasn't anything about the experience that I was like, ooh, this makes it super unique. I have to come back here. And it is more expensive than regular hibachi. So just like, I don't know. So that's Epcot. And then, last but not least.
Like outside the parks?
Outside the parks.
Outside Disney Springs.
Outside Disney Springs. So like hotels, basically. I recommend, I've not been, but.
I don't know quick service.
I didn't do quick service.
Okay. Just restaurants.
Yeah, just restaurants. Topolino's Terrace, it's a character meal, so not unlimited or buffet, but it is a really cute character meal at the Riviera, so you get to see a cool resort. It's at the top level. They have like the patio kind of overlooking while you're waiting. You can hang out there and then get breakfast. That's definitely high on my list of what I want to try. I also used to really love Olivia's. of course, at Old Key West. Yep. We used to go there a lot as kids.
Mickey Mouse shaped pasta.
Yeah, they don't have it anymore.
I know, but it was so good.
It was so good.
It wasn't even that good, but it was so good.
Well, in our minds, it was really good. And then we used to buy the pasta from downtown Disney and make it at home. Oof. It was very expensive. I'm sure like one bag of that thing pasta. Was so expensive.
There's nothing special about it.
But it's kind of like the shaped mac and cheese. There's just something
Mickey shaped waffles.
Yeah,
they're just different.
They're just different. Just a Disney thing.
Yeah.
So that's what I would recommend. I really want to try, honorable mention, Ohana's. I've never been.
Okay.
For breakfast in particular.
Why? Breakfast?
Oh, not a breakfast?
That's not what I've heard. I've heard it has a good dinner.
Dinner that we would eat?
I don't know.
I have to look at the menu. But and either way, would like to go to Ohana's. For breakfast, his character was Stitch, I think. But yeah, I do think that would be cool. I've been over to the Polynesian, but I haven't eaten there. So that is what I would say.
I put, Olivia's Cafe, I put as well, because I remember that being really, really good. Mm-hmm. And then Trattoria Al Forno.
Yes.
On Boardwalk.
Yes.
For breakfast.
I've also heard for dinner.
Okay. Steph and I went for breakfast once, and they had, like, really normal food that was really good. I think I got, like, French toast, and it was really good.
Okay.
And it was affordable. So, like, I don't remember why we went there in particular, but I think maybe we were staying at the Swan and Dolphin or something. And, it was great. Yeah. Really enjoyed it. And I also put on my want to try Ohana's. Okay. I've heard really good things about it. I don't know what's there, so maybe I wouldn't eat it, but...
I just thought breakfast.
A lot of friends. Sorry. My dog Luna is going crazy in the background. She can't be helped. It's been raining all day.
Yeah, poor Luna. Usually we walk her before this, but it's raining, and we walked her and she didn't do anything.
She's no Karen.
Poor Luna. So yeah, that's okay. Those are our kind of rundowns of the food. So yeah, definitely.
Last or like the question before we get into old versus new.
Yeah.
Right? Or do you have more?
No. Well, just was gonna say. So all those restaurants, I'm gonna list them off again, just so you have it. In what I included to calculate the dining plan. So included was quick service at Polite Pig, ABC Commissary, Mama Melrose, Tusker House, which is a character meal buffet, Flame Tree Barbecue, and then Magic Kingdom Cosmic Rays, Liberty Tree Tavern at Epcot, the Mexican Pavilion, and Garden Grill, and then Topolino's Terrace. So all of that was included in the $1453.58, and that also included refillable mugs for your party and one snack per day per person. So that is all what was included in both, and it was cheaper by $250 to pay for that all on your own without manipulating it, with including resort mugs, which I don't necessarily recommend buying unless you get the dining plan. So I say do not get the dining plan. That is my official.
That is your stamp?
Yes.
Okay. Good to know.
So
because I thought it looked like a pretty decent deal.
I know everybody. I think it's tempting, and I think people are like, "Oh, but it's
tempting
to
not have to like, think about it."
And yeah, I mean, if you don't want to think about it, $250 is $250 that you could spend on Lightning Lane.
Well, and you still technically like you could get to something that you want and be like, "Oh, it's not even included."
It's not included.
Yeah.
Yes,
that's like the biggest
where they get you.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If they just charge a blanket price for like all inclusive,
yeah. I know, but I think enough people don't look into it.
I mean, only like I feel like only relatively wealthy people are buying the dining plan to begin with.
True. But look into it at distrippplanner.com. They have the calculator, and if you are, not trusting my math, want to do it yourself, want to figure out your restaurants, do it. I thought it was super insightful, and the prices seemed right. Like I took one of the days and did like Garden Grill and made sure the prices were right. They were for the dates that I was looking at everything for the cost. So just look into that. Our last question about restaurants for this week is, what would your dream new restaurant theme or food type for whatever park, whatever hotel area, what would you make? Where would it be? What would you serve?
So this is kind of a joint idea. I have two answers to this because this one is kind of a crazy stretch. It would never happen. But I would build a restaurant that is Avengers Tower would be built, so it'd be like an icon, so you could see it while you're entering Disney World. You would just see Avengers Tower like in the distance.
Its own park? What park are we talking? Hollywood Studios.
No, it's not a park.
Oh.
It's a hotel.
Oh, I'm sorry. Excuse me. Okay, a hotel.
So Avengers Tower is the hotel, and then at the top where like there's like the little landing, there'd be a restaurant.
Okay.
And so you're like way up, and you're like overseeing all of Disney World.
Yeah.
And you're in the Avengers Tower. And
They serve burgers?
It would serve like, it would be like Cheesecake Factory. And then it would just serve like
large
everything.
menu. Okay. Yeah.
Like a huge variety.
Cool.
That would be my dream one. And then the other one that I thought was more realistic, that's probably actually going to happen, is a Haunted Mansion themed restaurant.
Okay, cool. What would they serve there?
It'd be like a nicer restaurant with like good steak and mashed potatoes.
Okay.
Like a solid like
steakhouse.
Fancier restaurant kind of, because it's like posh, because it's like a mansion or whatever.
Yeah. Like what they would have served at the mansion before it was a ghost town.
Exactly. So in Magic Kingdom.
Okay, cool. My idea was, which I kind of had two as well, so I guess I'll do both. The one that I thought was a Snuggly Duckling character dining, where you could meet Rapunzel, Flynn Rider, Mother Gothel in the area close to where the bathrooms are, where everyone was disappointed.
Like the tavern from the movie?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like the tavern from Tangled. Near the Tangled bathrooms somewhere back there that they haven't expanded to yet, but should, because the bathrooms are the coolest, and why didn't they do more with that? But it would serve some kind of like pub bar food, appetizers, pub style food, and then have some kind of fancy Pascal color changing drink or something like that. And they could have somebody playing the piano, because the guy is there, playing the piano, singing "I've Got a Dream," and have a piano player, like piano bar type theme there. So that was one idea that I had. And then the other idea is not that unique, but basically bringing back Pizza Planet and making it an actual Pizza Planet with arcade games.
Arcade.
And
they had arcade games at the old one.
A few.
Yeah, but it was still like
lame. Like a Dave & Buster's, what I'm envisioning. You get a card, you get to play these games. Like an actual arcade. They have decent arcades at the hotels. Like, do something like that. That was my other thing. So that's what I had.
Okay.
For the restaurant ideas.
Those are good ideas.
Okay, so old versus new, trying to stick to the food theme. And I thought about doing Pizza Planet versus Pizza Rizzo, but I'm not going to do that.
That'd be so easy.
So I'm going to do a debatable one, which is a hot topic online. The old versus new for this week is Main Street Bakery versus the Starbucks that now has replaced it. And some people are like, I need my Starbucks. I'm so glad there's a Starbucks in Disney. And then there's people like me that are like, why? Why do you need a Starbucks? They should not have the Starbucks in the park, and it should go back to the bakery. They used to have the most amazing cinnamon rolls that are now more like at Gaston's, and they used to have really good giant cupcakes that were so good as well. So that's the old versus new for this week.
It's a tough one for me because I don't care.
You don't care either way?
No. I mean, like, I guess I prefer the pastries and stuff, but, like, I don't mind Starbucks.
Like, they have some of them, but the line is so long.
Yeah, I mean, but who's to say it wouldn't be long for the pastries thing
It wasn't before. Now,
that early in the morning, like...
I guess. I feel like you can't get in line. This is what I don't like about Starbucks. I don't drink coffee. I don't like that you can't get in line for the pastries that they serve at Starbucks. You can't just go get a muffin or a cinnamon roll. You have to get in line with everybody else that's getting a freaking coffee. That's annoying. So...
I mean, it's a Starbucks. I mean...
They make money.
Yeah. The licensee location. Like, it's... Yeah. I mean, it probably makes a ton of money. So, no, I mean, I definitely...
You keep Starbucks?
No, I don't know. I guess I would say keep Starbucks to keep my wife happy.
Okay. Yeah, so that was what I was thinking about.
I don't drink coffee either, so.
Yeah, it's hard because and I was trying to find another restaurant thing, but anything I could come up with was just like they took away character dining.
And like I said, like I don't think that we eat breakfast in the parks very much.
Yeah.
Like, we just don't.
Definitely not.
We were literally thinking about this last trip. I was thinking about where we could go for breakfast when we rope dropped that morning in Magic Kingdom, and like the only place we could come up with was Gaston's Tavern for the cinnamon rolls. Like that's basically it. Yeah.
It's like Crystal Palace sit-down breakfast.
Yeah,
but otherwise,
that's like $1 million.
Yeah, I'm like, just get breakfast outside the park. Have it at your hotel. Like, get something from Target.
Get McDonald's. McDonald's breakfast.
Ugh, no.
McDonald's breakfast is pretty solid.
No, do not like McDonald's breakfast. Okay, so this is our question for the week. Trivia question. How many Magic Kingdoms could be fit inside Animal Kingdom? None. Magic Kingdom is larger. 2, 5, or 8?
It's definitely not 5 or 8. How many Magic Kingdoms, like all the property?
Yep.
None.
You think Magic Kingdom is larger? I'm going to say 2, just to be different.
Okay. I'm pretty sure Magic Kingdom is bigger.
Than Animal Kingdom?
Yeah.
It's a lot of property. Think about the Savannah area.
That's like though. That's all there's big property. Magic Kingdom has all the riverboats area and all the train. I'm thinking about the perimeter of the train is huge.
Yeah, well, apparently you are wrong. 5 Magic Kingdoms
way.
could be fit inside Animal Kingdom according to GoToQuiz.com. a very reliable source.
I don't know about that go-to quiz.
It's been right about everything else.
I have to look
at the map.
At that circle and then move.
Yeah, but not just where there's rides. The animals, all the savannah. It's pretty spread out.
Not 5. Like,
Bruh.
that's animal, and then that's magic.
Okay, 2 seems more like a legit answer.
I think 2 seems closer.
But magic's not bigger.
There and there.
Yeah, so just something to think about this
maybe
week.
like square footage if you include the parking lot of Animal Kingdom.
Yeah, the parking lot of Animal Kingdom. Well, no, magic. Yeah, because I guess that's that ticket and transportation.
Not including the magic
ticket and transportation center.
Anyway.
Okay, so I just wanted to say thank you to everybody who has engaged with our posts. I've definitely seen, obviously, as our follower count goes up, we've been having a lot more people naturally engage instead of me having to pull people to engage. So thank you for engaging in our polls, in the question box, following us on YouTube, subscribing to us on YouTube, following us on Spotify, commenting. There's a poll if you're listening on Spotify. Every week, Regan puts up the old versus new poll. Mm-hmm. Tell us how you feel about Starbucks or Main Street Bakery this week. And then look out for the question box. I post it once a week, typically on Fridays, to try to prep Fridays or Saturdays before we record our podcast each week. And thank you to everybody who's also been supportive. We found a lot of really cool other podcasts through this, Instagram and YouTube channel, and just people have been really supportive, saying they love the show, they're listening, and kind of what they think about everything. So we appreciate it.
Thank you.
But let us know, what you love, what you don't love. Like I said before, we're doing this for fun, so don't know that we'll take your advice, but we appreciate everyone.
Don't know that we'll take your advice is crazy.
Well, just being honest.
Put in the comments to up our engagement, but we won't listen.
Well. Yeah, anyways, hope you all have a great week, and we're gonna soar out of here.
No, you won't drop it.
I won't.